It turns out being the biggest and the richest does not always mean you win. As Amna Nawaz tells us, this week, football fans united globally to block a secret super soccer league.
Judy, imagine in pro baseball that the Yankees, the Red Sox, and the Cubs broke away with other profitable teams to set up their own league. That is what these European soccer clubs were trying to do. And their failure is a stunning 180 for some powerful team owners who aren't used to the word no. Just days after the so-called Super League was unveiled, the architects of the scheme scuttled their plans and apologized, facing enraged fans and governments. For more on exactly what happened and why it matters, even outside the soccer world, we're joined by Roger Bennett. He is the co-host of the Men in Blazers TV show and the author of the upcoming book, Reborn in the USA, an Englishman's love letter to his adopted home. Roger Bennett, welcome back to the NewsHour and help us understand how in the span of 5 days we went from Super League to Super Fail. What exactly happened?
It's been a historic, shocking, remarkable week for global football. It all began Sunday night when 12 of the biggest teams in Europe announced they'd signed off in secret to a breakaway pan-European league, the Super League, backed by JP Morgan, in which the 6 richest teams in England would join 3 each from Italy and Spain, and they'd play each other on an annual basis. A bit like, as you say, if Duke, North Carolina, and Kansas announced a breakaway from March Madness in which they were guaranteed participation every single year. This would have transformed the complex European footballing pyramid, which has taken 140 years to build up, and turn it really into a WrestleMania-style profit-maximizing blockbuster event. And you had oligarchs, European industrialists, and 4 American sports investors making an Augustus Gloop-level power grab. And astonishingly, it felt unstoppable Sunday night. But on Tuesday, it had all fallen apart.
And how did it fall apart? When it came to the opposition, where was the loudest, most vociferous opposition coming from to this?
It did do something remarkable for a moment, the Super League. It united fans, it united players, it united James Corden, even the royal family weighed in. And it turned out to be a rollout, which really was a sporting version of New Coke, a massive money plan put together by billionaires who hired cross-continental PR specialists, lobbyists, whole troll farms, and of all the scenarios that they thought about, and they really did plan for this, the possibility of their own fans turning on them clearly never crossed their minds. They thought the only challenges would come from supporters of the lesser clubs that they'd left behind in the dust, which proved to be a historic misread, perhaps the biggest in global football club history, because above all, English football fans are tribal, they are passionate, the clubs are so deeply rooted in the community, such an expression of the fans' identity. They're not afterthoughts, the fans are not customers, the teams are not franchises, and the American owners who drove the Premier League plan in England didn't realise just how much their own fans cared. They didn't really understand the heart of football, and in not recognising that, they stuck a dagger straight into that heart.
You mentioned some of those American owners. There are familiar names for folks in our audience, right? John Henry, who owns Liverpool Football Club, also owns the Boston Red Sox. The Glazer family, who own Manchester United, also own the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I think it baffles people that they misread the fans so deeply. Help us understand, is there a sports culture divide there that the American and foreign owners just didn't get what was going on the ground?
It is truly remarkable to me that they own something that is so wildly popular and that they have no sense of exactly what they own. One of the American owners, Stan Kroenke of the LA Rams, owns Arsenal Football Club. They are playing as we speak. Their fans, over 1,000 of them, surrounded the stadium. Football's currently in a fanless state and demanded that he sell up immediately. It's like a scene from Les Mis. Do you hear the people singing the Song of Angry Men? But it's not so simple. There's not that many individuals who have $3 billion lying around who can replace these gentlemen. And that is now the ensuing battle. What now for these Premier League teams?
So what now then, Raj? What happens now? Not just for the sport, but for the business. It's been growing rapidly across Asia, certainly here in the U.S. With all this plotting and scheming and these leaders being called traitors, how does this move forward?
Well, on Tuesday, when one of the teams, Manchester City, pulled out of their plans to join the Super League, UEFA, the governing body in Europe, issued a statement welcoming Manchester City back into the European family, which was predictable, but still incredibly shocking because 24 hours earlier, Manchester City were turncoats, defectors, trying to destroy everything. But they will be welcomed back. There's so much money at stake. And while this Super League mistake has stained the reputation of many in a way that won't be forgotten, the American owners have already started to undertake their versions of apology tours. Josh Kroenke apologised to Arsenal fans. That predictably didn't go well. And Liverpool's John Henry, the Boston Red Sox owner, released a video in which he apologised, accepted full blame. And it was kind of as effective as Frido Corleone apologising for betraying the family. A fan outside of Arsenal Stadium this afternoon held up a sign saying fans 1, billionaires 0. But for now, it's important to recognise the bodies of football, UEFA, FIFA, remain more corrupt than Tammany Hall. Racism still stains the game. There's going to be a World Cup in Qatar. So there'll be a lot of talk about reform. But this is just one war that's been won, like the battle for Endor, and there are many battles to come.
So a Star Wars reference, a Godfather reference, and Les Mis, all wrapped up into one. We can't ask for much more from you. That's Roger Bennett, co-host of the Men in Blazers show. Raj, always good to see you. Come back soon.
Amna, send my love to Judy Woodruff. Courage.
Thank you, Amna. We love any Godfather reference, and we need more Roger Bennett on the NewsHour.